the original Red Pill Show.
Welcome to a brand new episode.
Batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
That is not what I wanted. Oh my God.
Don't look too closely, then I'll see right. Defy me once and I'll be out of sight. Don't look back and fly. Hardly living life. It's the last day of my life. Don't make me stay and think I'll be nice. I'd rather fight and be the one despise. Don't look back and fly. Hardly living life. It's the last day of my life. Trying hard to pull me close and fearing that I slip away. Noticing you're left with nothing, nothing but a memory. Don't look back and fly. Hardly living life. It's the last day of my life. Don't look back and fly. Hardly living life. It's the last day of my life.
All right, kiddies, welcome to another exciting episode of the original Red Pill Show. Today is Thursday, February 23rd, 2022. The show is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please use at your own risk. The show is copyrighted by me and Freedom of Revolution Network. No parts of it can be reused, rebroadcasted in any way, shape, or form without our written consent, or you can just ask. Finally, the show is opinionated. The host, especially me, callers, guests, people that are naughty in all the chat rooms, including all the what do you call them? The people are trying to ruin the show. And everybody else aren't always will be opinionated, thank God, under no circumstances whatsoever. Should opinions be taken as advice? If you are seeking professional advice, we strongly encourage you to hire a license if required. Hello, what's up, TLO, man? Mods, what's happening? Person in his or her feel a little Tommy. Hey, man, No, that's his name, broadcasting live from the frozen tundra of Colorado, where it's cold as shit. Balmy 6 degrees, which I'm sure that's warm or warmer than some other parts of the country right now with the crazy weather. It was 57 degrees on Sunday, and now it's a balmy 6. Of course, it's 2:30 a.m. in the morning. But anyway, broadcasting live here. I went to bed early and I don't know, woke up and I'm laying there thinking, and I'm like, well, this isn't doing me a bit of good. And so if I'm going to think and not sleep, I'm going to do a show. -7 in Minneapolis. Yeah. Okay. So that's 10 degrees, pretty much 11 degrees colder. TLO's telling me in Minneapolis. Minnesota, eh? Minnesota, nice. All right. So what is going on? Well, it appears to be a lot. There's really nothing to talk about, and there's everything to talk about. And let's just see if we can, I don't know, talk about things that matter, at least to me, and then what I'm seeing and feeling off of social media and the news. And it's in a crazy world right now that is pretty fucked up, and it's not getting any better. So I could, it's just the way it is. It's not being negative, it's being real. I have some things to share. I started going back to my church that I was going to before I left Colorado a year and a half ago. It's called Foundations Church in Loveland, Colorado. And they had a guest speaker there, and I shared it on Facebook. And I actually Facebook lived it because within 2 or 3 minutes, I knew this guy had a message to share. And I'm going to download it. Oh yeah, you too, TLO. So it's not just me. I mean, it's more crazier than usual because it sure seems that way. This gentleman who lives in Florida, I don't know his name. Sorry, don't have any preparedness here. Is just winging it. But I will in a future date because I don't want to focus specifically on it. But I am going to take my iPhone and I am going to make an MP3 file out of the entire message. And I don't know if I'll play it on a show. I don't know if I'll cut it up and put some drop-ins in or another intro. Because this guy said some profound things. Now, I don't want to get too deep into thinking here at 2:40 in the morning. Because I titled the show, Your Car's Obsolete. And this show is inspired and motivated by a lot of things, but mostly about my life. And this is good segue or connection to this guy's sermon because he was there to give a message, as we all should be. I mean, isn't that what it's all about? Getting messages from people. But what exactly is a message? People look for advice, counsel. What should I do? I don't know what to do, especially now. I mean, for the first time in my life, I don't have any fucking direction in which way to go because every time I do, outside forces, mostly the government, state or federal, just changes the rules of the game in the middle of the game. And it's like, well, how can I fight the natural law of physics when you're changing the rules? You can't do that. So for somebody to plan something and make a plan based on the rules that they are in this moment in time is impossible to adapt to, in my opinion, down the road, because you don't know what the hell's coming. So do you just sit back and be complacent and acquiesce to everything, or do you just go out there and do what you got to do and you deal with it as it comes, which hasn't been too good for me. I mean, the past 2 years, I have changed my life because of this whole COVID crap, and I'm not going to start talking about that or vaccinations or nothing. I'm just saying, how can I make a plan when, for whatever reasons they may be, a pandemic happens and all you hear is, oh, well, we're not ready for that. Yeah, no shit. You know what else we're not ready for? A fucking nuclear war. And you know what else we're not ready for? A meteorite hitting the goddamn planet. Sorry, Lord. What are you gonna do? What do you mean we're not planned for this? No shit. How can you be? How can you be? And it's always management by reaction, not proactivity. And it's always the result of infringing upon your rights because it's your fault. So your freedoms and liberties are infringed upon. So what do your livelihood, your income, what are you supposed to do? And I'm just asking that question because I don't know. And then you wonder why people are beaten down. They're not motivated. They're unmotivated. They're losing hope. I mean, what do I do? I don't know. But what do I do know? What's the message? I don't know what that is. What's the message? I have no idea what you're talking about, TLO. So I don't know. Is that a branded thing that somebody is doing, or I don't know. It's not. I don't even know what the message is. So this is what I heard on Sunday at church. If I quit playing with my microphone, it keeps drooping and it's pissing me off. And it's because I lost a set screw in my move for the 9th move in 6 years. I mean, some things just don't. Some shit gets lost. You know what I mean? So that's better. All right. No, I don't know what the message is. I think I've heard of it, but no, it's not. No, I'm not going to plagiarize people or things. And I'm going to give credit where credit is due. So everybody's looking for guidance, a message, whatever. The message equals inclusivity, equality, representation. No, that's all. That sounds like an agenda to me. Nope. CTLO, you're not even being open-minded. You're assuming and you're projecting and going ahead and taking over my show. No, I'm kidding. No, it's not. It's nothing like that. So this was profound to me. I have heard a lot of shit in my life as far as, and I don't want to even say motivational, like Anthony Robbins or anything, but I've heard a lot, anywhere from sermons from preachers to seminars to books to this and to that, and I've never heard this. So this guy started out and he wanted to share his message. So I have never, ever, I mean, I was floored by this guy, and so was everybody else. He got a standing ovation at the end of his about hour and a half sermon. I'll call it a sermon. And what the hell's wrong with the chat room? Can't post comments to some destination. No shit. Really now? Who are we banned? Scarlett did the last show, so it ain't me. And I can't even scroll down in the comments now. Okay, go away, please. Whatever. I'm gonna waste my time. Hey, Darren, what's up? I can't see the entire chat room now because now we're banned from someone else, and it won't go away. So I can't see it. So sorry about that. You're just gonna have to talk more. So they scroll up. Anyway, so this guy was from Florida. Never heard of him. Don't have his name. It doesn't really matter. I will in the future. Like I said, I come on here and I talk. I don't plan. I don't have an agenda, a narrative, whatever. Okay. I am sharing my message. Okay. My message. And here lies in the definition of that word. So this guy took the word message and he hyphenated it and made it a compound word. Now, listen, I'm not an English expert, anything of the kind. I barely graduated high school. But he took the word message and make it a compound word or hyphenated it or put, a dash in there. All right. So whatever correct terms are for that grammar-wise. And what he said is this. The word message is mess age. I'm like, whoa. He goes, and here's the thing. I'm going to elaborate on this because I've heard shit like this before. And thank God this guy straightened this out. I'm a mess with age. And this gentleman, who has an amazing story, I just might play the whole sermon one time. I might download it. I am going to download it onto my computer so I can make an MP3 out of it. I just might play the whole fucking thing. Everybody needs to hear this. Unfortunately, I missed the first 5 minutes because I didn't know what I was getting into. I just went to church and bam, this guy's up there. Like, okay. So the word message is mess with age. And this gentleman said, I didn't share my mess or my message or my story until I was past 50. I'm like, holy shit. And he started the sermon or his message with, I was 10 years old. I found a loaded gun in my mom's bedroom, and I had the barrel of the gun pointed to my temple with my finger on the trigger. So he did like a Quentin Tarantino thing. He started it out like that. He started with the end, which was the beginning, but it was the end of the story, but it was the beginning of the story. And then he filled everything in after that. So it was pretty good. I mean, I'm not a huge Quentin Tarantino fan, but I do like how he fucked everything up, where a story is supposed to start at the beginning and go at the end. And usually the end of the story is the beginning, and then they go back to the very beginning. And then the end of the movie is the beginning of the movie, which is the end, which is confusing as fuck. But nonetheless, I did like the attention grabber. 10-year-old kid has a gun pointed to his temple and he just wants to blow his brains out. I'm like, okay, got my attention. But he started it out with that mess age. Now, this gentleman has been approached by presidents of the United States, the Pentagon, all kinds of people asking him for some type of guidance or motivation. Football teams, professional teams, this, that, whatever. And he even flew on Air Force One, whatever. Been a millionaire, still might be a millionaire. I don't know. It's not the point. That these people are looking for guidance, for motivation, to motivate people. And they said, we want you to say something. He said, there's nothing I can say to motivate these people. And they're like, what? Like, no, you have to share your message with whomever you're trying to motivate. And I'm like, wow, holy shit. And all the points that he made with people that go through trials and tribulations in their life, if you don't share your message or your story, number one, it's like a purging of yourself. Not that you're dumping on people, but you're dumping it. You are dumping it onto people, but what you're doing is you're helping people, because the people that have gone through or going through what you have gone through, they need to know that they're not the only one that's going through what you've gone through, because everybody just thinks they're the only person on the planet that's been sexually molested, raised in an alcoholic family, gone through drug addiction, sexual addiction, so on and so on and so forth, and all of that. And when you share your message, you resonate with people and you give them hope. So I could sit here and preach and just give a motivational message and that, but if it doesn't come from the heart and my experience from being a mess, which is a lifelong thing for sure, that is not going to resonate with you. I could say all these cliches and all this stuff and this and that. It ain't going to do a damn bit of good unless I share my message with you. And that goes with everybody. Because what you're doing is you're giving hope to people. And right now, I think there's a ton of people that need it right now. So this guy had me not bawling, but he had me in tears. I was, I had some tears rolling down my face. The guy's story is amazing. I will sometime today play it off my iPhone and again make an MP3 player. MP3 player, that'd be nice. MP3, I want my MP3 player back. Really? I will make an MP3 audio file out of it and play it. And his name is on the screen in the background, and I will write his name down so you can get a hold of this guy. But after the sermon, so people, there wasn't that many. I was surprised. I don't think people knew he was waiting to talk to people, because usually when somebody gives a message or they're a guest speaker, they wait outside in the lobby. But this guy was like right in front of the stage. And there was like a couple or two in front of me, and I went and I thanked them. And I said, thanks for your story. Thanks for sharing. First of all, I told him he looked like a Kung Fu master, because he was wearing like a Kung Fu uniform. And he laughed and he goes, well, I'm Morpheus and you're Neo. And I'm like, oh my God, does this guy even know I have a fucking show called The Original Red Pill Show? I mean, how weird is that? But anyway, I didn't comment on it. And I said, I said, I have shared my message and I have been told that I'm narcissistic, misogynist, racist, this and that, everything else. And I'm glad you said what you said, because I am sharing that I'm a mess with age. And if people don't like it, then you don't have to listen. But for some reason, I don't know if it's indoctrination. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you're not really truly listening. But this isn't a scripter. This isn't, like I said, there's no narrative here. This is just balls out, real life sharing life in my experiences. And when stuff comes up and I've experienced it or I am experiencing it, I think I'm obligated to share that. Whether you want to fucking hear it or not. Or, oh, Tim's talking about himself again. Yeah, because Tim, third person, can talk about himself. Because I'm not going to get in trouble. I'm talking about me. So if you can just open your mind to me and a little bit of others when they start talking about themselves. But if somebody goes, oh well, yeah, well, I did this, and starts, like a trophy thing, and I accomplished this and I did that. It's like, you know what, that's on the verge of narcissism. But if you're exposing your heart and your weaknesses and your character defects in your life, in your challenges, in the pain, in the situation, and then in some cases some remedies, that you learn to rise above that in the process, there's nothing wrong with that. And if people want to look at that as narcissistic, then you better look at yourself in the mirror, because you're making it about you. This isn't about you. So anyway, this guy's message was just like off the frickin' charts. And like a lot of timing in my life, or God intervention, or whatever you want to call it, I needed to hear that. I really did. And I think a lot of people need to hear it too. Because you could read 1,000 books. You can go to all the counseling in the world. You can hear what you think you need to hear, but it's not going to heal you. It's a temporary fix. It's putting a patch on a tire instead of getting a set of tires. You need a new set of tires, for an analogy. You can fix those fucking tires all day long. They're going to keep blowing out, and eventually, God forbid, you're going to get an accident. So we want to avoid accidents. We want a brand new set of tires. And the only way you're going to do that is by sharing your message. But people like, oh my God, I can't tell somebody that. They're going to judge me, and I'm shamed by that. Really? So you're telling me you're perfect? You haven't made any fucking mistakes? And wouldn't you give anything to avoid those mistakes if somebody made the same mistakes before you and said, oh, well, yeah, I did that too, but here's what I did to resolve it? Wouldn't you want that? I mean, isn't that being a parent, a good parent? I think so. I think it's being a leader. I think it's setting an example. And I think it's someone trying to be a better human and obtaining ascension in all areas, mind, body, spirit, and helping other people. Oh my God. God forbid we do that. But this guy, in essence, put into an optical and auditorial meaning of why I do this show. And I've been asked that. I'm like, oh, well, you just like, listening to your own voice. You just like talking or being an asshole, or yeah. That's me. Yeah. And you don't care. It's like, listen, if I didn't care, I wouldn't be doing this. So I'd be like, fuck all he is. I've learned all my lessons. I mean, so I think, but I have learned a lot. And if I didn't care, I wouldn't share. So the essence or meaning or the reason for being why I do this show is to share my message. Okay? And there is unlimited material in that. For instance, I want to piss off Dwayne, but he called me this morning. And I said, read the book Outwitting the Devil. There's nothing I can tell you that's going to do anything. read the book Outwitting the Devil. Okay, so no sooner than shit, 10 minutes later, he's calling me back and he's like, oh my God. I'm like, dude, you know, you're at that point. I was at that point. Now, if I don't want to share my message or I didn't care, I was a narcissist, I'd be like, oh, you know, blah, 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 blah. That's not going to help. And him and I are going to do a show on that very book, which is, that's what Napoleon Hill did. He shared his message or story and then put it into a context to help people find out who the fuck they are by interviewing the devil. Fascinating book. So it's stuff like that. Because that book was recommended to me 4 years ago. And that book, I'm not going to say it saved my life. It may have, but I wasn't suicidal, or I was just down, man. I was down. I just moved here. I lost everything. Didn't know anybody but 2 people. That was rough, man. And the owner of the gym's wife, I was talking to her, and she's a Christian, and she goes, you ever hear the book Outwitting the Devil? I go, no. What's that? Sounds stupid. Well, read it. And I did. And in that book still, I'm reading it again and listening to it on, I've never listened to it on audio. I'm not a fan of that. I want to read a book. But anyway, yeah, if you can't figure shit out, or you're stuck in a circle and you just can't seem to get out of that is the book. I'm just telling you right now, and you can thank me later. All right, so what else is going on? I don't know. The chat room is like kind of fucked up. I can't see because of the rude. You guys see any trolls in here? Let me know, or block. I don't know if you guys can block them or not. I don't know if you can or not. TLO, if you can, do it. Because I don't want these assholes in here. They don't have good intentions. So what's happening in Podbean, South Ozman? What's up? 50 hearts. Thank you very much. Yeah, I have to apologize for not doing the show enough, but my head's been in my ass, and I'm trying to figure shit out. And it's a good segue into why I titled this show, Better Think Twice About Buying a Car. So as usual, I talk. Why have I only been on for 4 minutes on Podbean? That's not right. What? I don't know. It's interesting. That's weird. Okay. Well, it is what it is. Really? 5 minutes? I've been talking way longer than that. Actually, 34 minutes. I don't know. I don't care. Whatever. I know I did everything I'm supposed to do. Spreaker. Yeah, I've been on for 34 minutes on Spreaker. So if you want to catch up, if this is true, and I've only been on for 5 minutes on Podbean, which is bullshit, go check the show out on Spreaker. And I usually bullshit for a half an hour before I get into a topic, if I ever do have one. But I got to come up with some title for the show for the episode. So there's a lot of shit going on with cars right now. A lot. Now, ever since I was a kid, I tore shit apart, including toys and this and that, put them back together, everything else. I wanted to know how things worked. And that got into motorcycles, and then it got into cars. And to this day, I still do that, being right now, a heating, air conditioning, refrigeration, and hot side equipment service technician. But when I had my own business for 20 years, here we go, narcissism. When I had my own business for 20 years and provided those services, to 2 states and blah, blah, blah. A lot of customers, mostly corporate. That's just in my nature. So I have some pretty good understanding of gasoline combustion engines and blah, blah, blah. I'm no expert on that, but it goes deeper than that. Just like this whole Putin thing. Everybody is like, oh, well, Putin's this and Putin's that, and he's this. And he's like, listen, man, you're dealing with a bunch of sociopaths in power. So everybody's going to look superficially. The bottom line is this. He is being surrounded, just like we had missiles in Cuba. And if we were slowly being surrounded from Mexico, Canada, right off of our shores with military bases, however that could happen, on Hawaii, I guess, and then some in the Caribbean and Cuba and yada, 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 we wouldn't tolerate it. We wouldn't tolerate it for a second. But when the United States of America does it to other countries, it's supposed to be perfectly fucking fine. Not to mention the United Nations and NATO, which is unconstitutional, by the way, but I don't want to get into that either. And I'm not justifying what Putin's doing, but I don't blame him. It's like, get the fuck out of my backyard with military might. And if we keep poking that guy and bullying him, we're gonna get punched in the nose. Okay, that's all I'm gonna tell you. All right, I don't want to get into that. So I'm like, well, it's because of this, and Putin wants Ukraine, and this and that, and all this crap. You're not even thinking. It is not about that. It is about intimidation. Who's got the bigger dick? And we're going to fuck with you until we get what we want out of you, whatever that even is. I don't know. That's what we don't know. But he's doing nothing more than protecting his sovereignty and his border. Gee, what's that? Well, it's the thing where all the fucking Mexicans come across illegal. That thing? And then you get a bunch of money. That, that thing. So anyway, get back to the car thing. All right, so there's a lot of shit going on, and like I said, there's probably a great chance that we can overthink everything. I do, but if you have ever experienced dealing with psychopaths and a sociopath, you kind of get where they're coming from. Or unless you are one, then you don't need an explanation. All this stuff is all semantics. Global warming. I saw a post on Joe Rogan, who I think's great, so it's nothing against him, but had some experts on both sides of global warming. In climate change, the weather changes. It's trying to find equilibrium. That's why it keeps fucking changing. There's nothing you can do about that. And the sun burns hotter through its age and process, its life. Look it up. Oh, well, the planet's gone up 1 degree Celsius. Well, that's because the sun's getting hotter, asshole. So all heat comes from the sun. Law of thermodynamics. Heat is not created nor destroyed. It's transferred. Okay? Unless we blew off some nuclear bombs and missiles, which probably seems likely lately, that's the only thing that's going to cause this planet to heat up, from the transfer of energy from atomic weapons. Okay? So this is all fucking horseshit. And you're using a carbon, here we go, carbon-based non-renewable fossil fuel. Yeah. And I'm breathing air and I'm drinking water and I'm drinking beer and I'm drinking coffee and I'm drinking wine and I'm pissing. What's the problem? And I poop too. Okay. Well, you can't do that. You're going to get taxed for that. Really? You're going to tax me for pooping? When it's a perfectly normal thing as a human being, a living human being. Well, no, you can't do that because of whatever reasons they're going to come up with. Too much methane. You're contaminating the water supply. Okay, this system and processes have been around for at least 100 years, at least. And I'm not even saying humans. We've been pooping and peeing and eating and shitting and everything else since the day we were created. Whoever did that. But now it's like, oh, well, the planet's warming up and we're ruining it because you drive your car. You're a horrible person. Oh, really? Okay. I have a book over there that I'm half tempted to grab to prove Nikola Tesla's notes from Colorado Springs, where he experimented and successfully figured out how to transfer wireless energy. It's right there. It's almost like an engineering book. And if anything, that book's made me smarter because I don't have any background in engineering or this or that, but I'm mechanical and I'm intuitive in that. And that book is nothing short of amazing. But what they won't tell you is they're making $1 gazillion off of selling oil and this and that and everything else and shove it up your ass and suppress 100 miles per gallon. It's early. Carburetors, fuel injection systems. You ever heard stories about that? Or somehow I heard a car was released by a factory and the fucking thing was getting, I don't even know, crazy, like double the miles per gallon that it was rated at. And how come cars just can't get past 40 miles per gallon? No matter what we do, we can make them more out of plastic. We can make them smaller. We can do this. We can do that. We can put turbos on them, superchargers, whatever, fuel injection. But we just can't get past the 40 mile per gallon ceiling unless a car is accidentally released and it gets 80 miles per gallon. I've heard this. And the person that owned the car said, hey, I don't know what's going on here, but my car's getting 80 miles per gallon. And they go, oh, well, you better bring that here, bring it back to the dealer. And they take the car back and it disappears. Or stories where, simple electrolysis with DC current separates oxygen and hydrogen from water, which somehow, if you took the hydrogen and condensed it and liquefied it or made it a saturated vapor and shoved it in a container, you could burn that in a car. But every time you hear shit like that, those people disappear. Watch the movie Gas Hole. Not Asshole, Gas Hole. It's on Netflix. Watch that movie. A guy took a piece of shit Chevy Impala back in the 70s and figured out how to run a carbureted, probably 350 Chevy engine on gasoline vapor, and not saturated vapor to the highest level, almost like superheated vapor, in a combustion engine, and drove that fucking thing everywhere and got 100 miles per gallon. And you know what happened to him? He got buried in the desert. It's just all coincidence. Watch the movie. There's no conspiracy here. Watch the movie. Okay, so now, oh, well, it's fracking and this and that. It doesn't take a rocket scientist or Elon Musk to figure this shit out. If you keep sucking a liquid out of a mass that's spinning in orbit and spinning in rotation on its axis and keep sucking shit out of it, you're going to throw it out of equilibrium. You're going to throw it out of balance. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that shit out. So I don't know what's going on here, but there's no doubt in my mind that there is wireless transmission of energy technology to power cars or anything for that matter. And combustion engine vehicles, cars that get 100 miles per gallon. There's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. So this is all about making money. And there's some agenda with this climate change crap, which I just can't think anything more than just a tax to tax us on some more shit for living. So there has to be, you just can't tax people without some type of resolution or plan moving forward, which is electrical vehicles. And we're going to get rid of the gasoline engine by 2030. See, Glenn Beck said by 2030, according to him, Bugatti, the car manufacturer, is going to be the only one that manufactures gasoline engines. I can't afford a Bugatti. Can you? 2030, that is less than 8 years if my U46 math works. 8 years. What's the average loan on a car? Well, you can finance them up to 7 years from what I know. So congratulations. You just bought a vehicle and financed it for 7 years, and it's going to be obsolete in 8 years. Congratulations, dumbass. And I say this because I just pulled the trigger, or just about did, to buy myself a car. Now, I have no doubt with the chip shortage. I was just watching Bloomberg, which I don't like, but I'm trying to save some money, so I got rid of my Sling, so I don't watch CNBC or Fox Business News. But Bloomberg's free, so I'm watching that. And they have all these experts. So watch out, the experts. That there's a 20% increase in demand for chips, and there's no chips. There's no chips. So if there's no chips, there's no cars. There's no manufacturing, among other things that we need, essentials. Good thing there's not chips in food, because we'd be fucked. Although there might be, depending on who you listen to. So just simple equation solutions here. It's not algebra. 20% demand, zero supply. You're probably going to at least maintain the value of your car, or it could go up 20% until they get this chip horseshit straight. But it was by the experts, it was made perfectly clear this problem is not going to be solved at any time soon. So you're like, oh, great, my car will go up 20%. Oh, yeah, sure. And in the meantime, you're going to get crucified and judged for driving it as time goes by. And you're going to get pressured to buy an electrical vehicle, which the batteries are horrible for the environment. And all they do is bury them in the fucking ground in the middle of nowhere, which you don't know about, and just let them sit there, contaminate the soil and the water supply, possibly, and wildlife and everything else around it, but they won't tell you that. Not to mention, it's going to tax the electrical grid on a 24/7 basis on the entire planet. Get ready within, I don't know, 5 to 7 years minimum. Your electric bill is going to double, if not triple, maybe quadruple, because this electric grid cannot take that type of demand. So there you go. Well, I'm saving the planet. I'm driving my Prius or my Volt or Volt or whatever the fuck it is, my Tesla. Oh, well, good luck, because you better have a very long extension cord or solar panels or something on the top of your car, because it's going to cost you an arm and a leg to charge a fucking thing if you don't have brownouts or power failures, which we're already having now. I haven't heard one news story of a new power plant being constructed, planned, and open for operation. And in fact, it's been the reverse. Some of these nuclear power plants are at or have exceeded their life expectancy, like Byron, Illinois. And I lived exactly 11 miles from that plant in Davis Junction back in Illinois. And that's beyond its life expectancy. And they were supposed to shut it down, but they're not, because they can't. So I'm trying to look forward. If I bought a car, financed it for 6-7 years, gas is going to go up unless we get a change of leadership. Okay. So, but what, I'm not getting into politics. I have to look at what we have right now. I got to play the cards that we have in our hand. You know, I can't have a pair of deuces and pray to God I pull 2 more deuces and discard 3 on 5 card draw. It's just, good luck. And I'm not a good bluffer. So I got a pair of deuces, and so do you. So what are you going to do with your pair of deuces? And nothing's wild. So your car, and even if it breaks and you can get parts for it, because the supply chain's absolutely ridiculous, you want to get stuck with a $400 car payment, $100 a month in insurance, and probably conservatively $30 to fill it once a week times 4, another $120 in fuel at what it's right now, which is about $3.35 a gallon, give or take a few pennies or dimes. What happens when that goes to $7 a gallon? What happens when it goes to $10 a gallon? Because they're not letting market dictate what's going on by demand, excuse me. They're manipulating the markets to make you a bad person driving your vehicle and buying an automobile by reducing the supply of gasoline or oil to force you to go to an electrical vehicle. Then from what I've heard, there's some elected servants that have money invested in electrical vehicles and technologies and batteries and all that kind of crap. It's like, gee, that's not, there's no moral hazard in that. No, no. So I think I would be an idiot to buy an automobile right now, because I'm buying technology that is forcibly going to be obsolete, and I'm destroying the planet, God forbid. So I am going to be very careful in my choices, especially for transportation, because right now I have a motorcycle, but it's kind of hard to ride a motorcycle in the snow. And it's 0 degrees right now as I look at my thermometer on my computer. That's a little chilly, not to mention, for some reason, Colorado doesn't believe using salt on their roads. So there's a pretty good chance I could hit an ice patch at 50 miles an hour on a motorcycle. Not going to turn out too well for me. But I just about pulled the trigger on this later today to go $25,000 just in principal. Who knows what I would pay for the car total with interest. I don't have an amortization table, but let's just say it's probably every bit of 35 grand. The payment was $425 and insurance is $100 a month. And gas is $3.50 a gallon, not $3.50, $3.35. and being projected to cost, and I mean, crude oil is almost up to $100 a barrel. Sorry, at least I'm catching myself. $100 a barrel. The meltdown in 2008, oil reached about $140 a barrel, and everything collapsed. And gas at that time was about $5 a gallon. Not to mention all the inflation that's transitory. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're fucked. Housing's going through the roof. To rent a 1-bedroom apartment pretty much anywhere that you would want to live in the country is going to cost you $1,500. My house payment was $1,100, $1,300 with property taxes about. And I'm living in a fucking 1-bedroom apartment with 1-car garage for $1,550 a month. There's something wrong, Mr. Wizard. Well, just go buy a car. Oh. Okay. Nope. As much as I want a car, and as humbling as it is, and if somebody says, hey, do you have a car? Which it's like, you shouldn't even ask that question because the answer is going to be yes. So why would you ask? I would say no. That's very humbling. It's the first time in my life that I am not going to have a car, which kind of sucks. But by 2030, according to Glenn Beck's show, there will be no more combustible engine vehicles manufactured, except possibly by Bugatti. And that'll be interesting when 2030 rolls around, which Agenda 21 is now turned into Agenda 30, but whatever. Whole different thing. What is it going to cost you total to have a gasoline automobile that's going to be obsolete? I don't even want to think about it because right now it's expensive. So anyway, that's just a little perspective of mine and what I'm seeing and what's coming, and the entrepreneurial side of me, and listening and watching and feeling what's going on. I don't know what the answer is, but I sure as hell know what the problem is. And what do you do? Oh, I got to get to work. I got to do this. I got to do this. I know. I get that. I'm in the same boat. I decided to live in an apartment that is not even a half a mile from a mall. So I can walk my ass over there to do shopping or go out to dinner or whatever. So I kind of strategically did that because I don't have a vehicle right now. I sold it in Florida and I don't need it. You don't need a vehicle in Florida, or at least I don't. Single, whatever. You know, I got a motorcycle with saddlebags. So if I went to the store, which was kind of productive because I can only buy so much shit. Because if you buy too much and shop with your eyeballs, like I do, if you can't get it home and it doesn't fit in the saddlebags, you're screwed. One day I bought one too many bags of potato chips and I had to shove it into my coat and my jacket so I could get home. So it kind of keeps you under control. But I get that. I mean, well, I got a kid. I got 2 kids. I need car seats. I need this. I need that. All I can say, if that was me, I would make sure that my vehicle ran in safely and economically as long as it could. But I am not going to sign a $25,000, $35,000 7-year note on a fucking car that's going to be worth jack shit and obsolete in 7 years. That's me. I am not happy about it. But the last thing I want to hear, oh, you were telling you know, they were going to be obsolete and not made anymore, and oil's, you know, going to go to $1 gazillion. So what, you know, that's your fault. Again, it's your fault. it's your fault. Just remember, it's always your fault. Just like China releasing COVID-19 and you lose your job or get your income cut in half for whatever fucking reason it is. See, that's all your fault. So when somebody else fucks up, it's not their fault. It's your fault. And then when you fuck up, it's your fault. So it's always your fault. Just make it plain and simple. Don't think people are going to be accountable for their actions because they don't have to be. They're just trying to make money off of you. That's sociopaths and psychopaths and people that want to retain power. So there you go. That's if you just keep that line of thought, you can figure this shit out with very little brain power. And I'm not calling you stupid. Just saying, just, forget all the semantics and this and that and everything else. And rocket ships blasting off and this and that. And it's all a distraction. I'm not saying it's an intentional distraction, but that's not what it's about. It's about making money and taking advantage of you on your back with your labor, in your loyalty and trust. And I'm not saying don't be loyal and don't be trusting, but don't be stupid. I'm not going to be. It's really hard for me not to buy a car. I need a fucking car. Just like I need a roof over my head. But I ain't doing it. And if this rent shit continues, I'm not renting anymore either. I don't know if I'm buying because the housing bubble is going to pop. So now's not the time to buy. So I don't know. It's just food for thought. SJ187. Are you who I think you are? Where have I been? I've been on planet Earth with a bunch of stupid fucking people, and Captain Kirk won't beam me off of here. That's where I've been. I've been in Colorado, trying to get my life back together, or, starting over. Not really starting over, but I mean, some type of structure is the best way to put it. So, SJ187, you're who I think you are, aren't you? Don't you have your own show? And you came on here and said something profound like, that doesn't define me. I think that was you. I don't know if it's not. I'm sorry. But whatever. I really don't pay attention to the chat rooms, and I should. I'm sorry. It's too fucking distracting. It's like watching a movie and somebody keeps talking to you. You can't listen to the fucking movie, and you can't hold a conversation at the same time. At least I can't. So it's like, oh, you're not listening to me. Mm-hmm. There you go. Self-defined, so no one else can define you. So you are that person. Yeah. And so I tried to find your YouTube channel, which I did, because I wanted to promote it and see what you had. And you just said, I'm not talking shit here. I'm just saying, or being disrespectful. I'm just like, I saw this and I saw that, and that's like a lot of music videos or music stuff. I thought it was going to be like, I thought you had a podcast, you told me. I don't know. You should, though. You should have one. It seems to be the popular thing right now. Everybody do a podcast, which I think everybody should. You should share your message. So self-defined so no one else can define you. Yep, that's it. Profound. It should be put on a plaque. All right, so what else? So some comments here in StreamYard. Oh, you guys are really getting into stuff. I'm surprised you're not talking about quantum physics. I tried Podbean, but no show. That's when you first started. I know. And Podbean, now it says I'm only on for 35 minutes, and it's bullshit because I've been on for an hour. So I don't know what's going on with Podbean. I don't. If you want the show in entirety, just go to Spreaker, and that's working because I checked it. I don't know why Podbean. I don't know. It's the first time that's ever done that. SJ187 wants to call in. Okay. Here we go. Hello.
Classes, and I was fucking up the text. But
you didn't want to call in? You didn't want to call in, or did you?
No. I did
Oh, okay.
because
All
I
right.
don't want to text. So I just wanted to tell you really quick. Yeah, I don't know what exactly we talked about as far as you visiting my music video channel, but I have another channel where I give lectures, and it's called Me, Myself, and INTP.
Oh, please, yes, please share that again because everybody was scouring for it, and they found was your videos, and I'm like, that's
Yeah.
odd because she's way more profound than that. I just can't. No offense. I mean, I play guitar,
Yeah. Well,
so you know
so
what I mean.
my music is really just where I channel all my toxicity. So yeah,
Mm.
it's rap music. So that's just is what it is. But yeah, I'm surprised I didn't give you my other channel address. I'm gonna put it in the chats, and you just search this, and then you should be able to find it. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna hop off. I just wanted to
Oh,
let you know
please.
that.
Well, thank you for sharing that so much. So yeah,
You're
put
welcome.
it in there and I'll share it and I'll share it in the other chat rooms. And then yeah. She hung up. She don't fuck around. Wow. Wow. In and out. Okay. Cool. All right. So hopefully she shares that link and then go check out her webpage and or YouTube. Me, myself, and I is it INTP? I think it's I Nancy Tom Paul. So there you go. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. You could at least say goodbye though. I mean, geez, really? I don't like it when women hang up on me because it's not really a good thing. Okay, you can go fuck yourself. Goodbye. You know, they wouldn't say goodbye. Just hang up. Whatever. I'm kidding. Okay. No, but thanks for calling in. So people have like been asking. I'm not a woman. What are you? You're not a woman. Okay. What are you? Are you? What are? A lesbian. That's not a woman. Female? Can I say female? A butch. That's fine. I have lesbian friends. It's fine. I have gay male friends. I have gay. My best man at my wedding was gay, so I mean he was my best friend. So say stud. Nope. Nope. What? Can't say female. I have to say stud. What are you cooking at 3 a.m. for? Are you making crystal meth or are you making food? I'm kidding. It's a joke. What the fuck you be cooking at 3 a.m? Okay, whatever. That just hit me. Okay. Well, anyway, so thanks for calling in. I don't care what your sexual preference is. Baking meth. That's what I thought. That makes perfect sense. Are you like, I gotta watch Breaking Bad. I know what it is. I've seen like 2 or 3 episodes, but I have to watch that. I'm looking for something to watch. Maybe since this came up, I will do that. But okay. All right. Well, thank you, SJ187. So we will share that. And I'm glad you clarified that because Darren, I'm sure, will want to know. Right, Darren? Dun, 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 dun. I believe there's a major mine for that substance for chips in the Ukraine. Yeah. Well, usually when we occupy a country, it's for their natural resources. So, like gold, oil, fucking lithium, and like Afghanistan, heroin, opiates, whatever. So, no, it's to spread democracy, Tim. Oh, sorry. My bad. The American way. Okay. I need a new mic boom stand. All right, kids. So thanks for listening and thanks for SJ87. Fuck it, it's funny. For calling in, clarifying that. And that's that. So it's been well, according to Podbean, it's been 40 minutes. It's horseshit. It's been an hour and 10 minutes. Like I said, if you want the whole show, just download the Spreaker app or go to Spreaker.com, type the original Red Pill Show, and boom, it's there. But I don't know what's going on with Podbean. That is really, really, that has never happened. And I'm kind of disappointed, actually. So, okay, so that's enough of me sharing my message. And just food for thought. Things are getting crazier. TLO thinks so. I think so. I don't know what you think. Yep, sure. Graphene and the new one for batteries and electrical name escapes me at the moment. I know. It's all about manipulating and transferring demand, which it's really not. When you're forced to do something, that's not really demand. It's like you don't have any fucking choice to shove an electrical vehicle up your ass, and you have to buy it because you can't use your car. But whatever. Market manipulation. Okay. So that's enough of that. It's enough of me sharing and ranting and this and that. I hope you enjoyed the show. I apologize for not coming on for a while. I've been trying to figure shit out myself. And talking to people at 3 a.m. that's making crystal meth in their fucking kitchen. So I missed that. So I'm glad I came on. And the interaction. But thank you again for the quick in and out and clarification. And that's it. So I'm going to go. So I'll let you say goodbye to each other. Again, SJ197 YouTube channel is me, myself, and INTP. And I'm going to check that out because she didn't share that. I don't know. Sorry. What do you want me to call you? I'm sorry. I'm just going to say she. You know, get mad at me. I'm sorry. Because I'm not focusing on that. I'm focusing on getting the word out about your YouTube channel. So, and you're busy cooking meth anyway, so hopefully you can't respond. But I'm going to go. Please share the show. I don't know what happened with Podbean again. I apologize. Share the show. Have a great day. It's already 3:45 a.m. here in Colorado. And yeah, let's just see what happens. But always share your message because you never know who you're going to help. So, all right. So I'm going to let you go. Thanks for listening to the show, and I'll be back hopefully sooner than later. You have been listening to the original Red Pill Show.